What's up, Solar Family? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Good morning. Super excited this morning to jump on here live and help you guys out. A little cold here. Actually, I've had a cold for the last like 2 weeks. Good morning, everybody. I'm gonna get started here in a few minutes. So go ahead and come in, have a seat. Good morning. Hey, what's up, Charlie? Good morning. And represent where you guys are coming in from, right? I love to see where you guys are coming in from. What's up, Charlie? And go ahead and put it in the chat. Represent where are you from? Super excited to jump on the training this morning. Okay. And again, the objective of the live training I'm having in the morning is to be a small part of your success at the end of 2023. I want to really help you and give you strategies, like actionable strategies to grow your business, because these are the same strategies that we're using to grow our business. And I want to give it to you absolutely free and give you guys information, strategies, tips, and things of that nature to really help you grow your business. But we're going to get started here in a few minutes, guys. I'm just going to get a couple sips of my coffee and we're going to get started, right? We're going to get started in a few minutes. But again, before we get started, if you haven't booked your solar strategy call yet, make sure you do so, right? I'm going to post a link like I normally do in the chat. It's solarstrategycall.com, solarstrategycall.com. Whether you watch me live on a replay, make sure you guys book your call and also represent where you're coming in from, right? And also, if you catch me on a replay, write in the comments things that you're struggling with. Maybe you have questions, typing it in the chat, and then I would love to answer those questions for you. If for whatever reason I don't reply back within 24 hours, normally I reply back to every single comment on my YouTube channel. If I don't reply back within 24 hours, book the call, right? The best thing to do is book a solar strategy call. It's absolutely free. We're literally, myself and my team are setting aside 30 minutes to help you and strategize with you, especially if you're just getting started in solar and you're like, you know what? I have, a lot of questions, which you probably do. We would love to help and point you in the right direction to help you cut the learning curve a lot faster. Okay. We're going to get started in a few minutes. Again, I'm gonna play some music here. Let's see if I can actually play some music. And then we'll go from there. Okay, everybody, is that cool? Let's see. Let's get a little islandish. Can you guys hear this? All right, we're gonna play a little music. No, you know what? That's a little too chill. That's like more like later on in the evening, right? Here we go. Let's play this one. Hype everybody up. Yeah, here we go. What's up, everybody? I sound like a DJ now. So we're going to get started here in a few minutes. Okay? Sit back, and relax. All right, everybody, we're going to get started in a few minutes. I decided to log in a little bit early because I noticed that once I log in, that everybody gets notified that I'm on live. So it gives people time to log in, grab their coffee, and watch the training. So we're going to get started in a few minutes, everybody. And again, if you haven't done so already, make sure you book your solar strategy call, solarstrategycall.com. The link is there. I think you have to copy and paste it into a browser. Make sure you guys do that, okay? And if you guys are tuning in live or even a replay, represent. Let me know where you guys are coming in from. What's up, everybody? We're going to get started in a few minutes. What's up, everybody? Good morning, good morning. Let me know where you guys are coming in from. We're going to get started here in a few minutes. All right. Yeah, I've noticed I'm getting notified that I'm going live, so awesome. All right. We're going to get started in 3 minutes, okay? 3 minutes at 10:05 Central Time. That's 8:05 Pacific, 11:05 Eastern. We're going to get started, okay? Today we're talking about lead generation. Yeah, lead generation. What's up, everybody? What is going on? All right. Two more minutes. 2 minutes, guys. We're getting started. For those of you guys that started to chime in or come into the group, let me know where you guys are coming in from. Represent your town, your city. So let me get started here. I'm just hang my phone here somehow, some way. I'm gonna do this. Oops. I'm getting situated here. What's up, everybody? Right. Do me a favor, everybody, as well. One second. Turn music off. All right, Tupac, thank you very much. Thank you. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Do me a favor, everybody that is watching me on a replay or a live. Do me a favor. I'm trying to build up my followers on TikTok so I can go live there as well. I need 1,000 followers on TikTok, right? 1,000. I'm at 620 right now. So do me a favor. If you're watching this, whether replay or live, go on your TikTok, go find me, James the Solar Expert, and do me a favor and click a follow, okay? Follow me over there as well, please. I'm trying to build that up to 1,000 subscribers. I can help folks out on TikTok live as well, okay? I would gladly appreciate that. So I'm going to plug myself, right? James the Solar Expert on TikTok. Do me a favor, follow, and I would gladly appreciate it. Awesome. So let's go ahead and dive right in here, okay? Let's dive right in. Hold on 1 second. Let me turn off TikTok. Boom. Okay, cool. So again, we're going over the 4 pillars solar sales mastery, right? 4 pillars. There's 4 of them. You need to implement all of them in your business, okay? So today we're talking about the 3rd pillar. Pillar number 3 are leads. So keep in mind that before you start getting leads, whether you're buying them online, right? Or or you're running ads online, or you're purchasing leads outright, or even if you're knocking on doors, right? Even if you're knocking on doors, and we talked about the importance of managing your time at the doors as well, because obviously our time is our most valuable asset that we own, okay? So even if you're knocking on doors, you have to, like we talked about yesterday, making sure that all the systems are in place first, okay? It's like having a big funnel, right? And making sure that funnel is intact. You have the strategy intact first before you dump like fuel into the funnel, okay? And the fuel is basically leads. You don't want to start dumping leads into your system if you don't have a system, because what happens is you're going to end up wasting, first and foremost, your time. And secondly, you're going to just start blowing off leads because there's not a foundation. There's not a system like Solar Pipeline to help you manage those leads, okay? That's why pillar number 3, and it goes in this chronological order. This is all in order. That's why pillar number 3, it's pillar 3. It's not pillar 1. Lead generation, not pillar 1, because it's not the most important thing that you need right now, okay? So make sure that you're setting up these systems in place to still think about it, right? Pillar number 3 is where it's at. It's on the third pillar because you obviously you need to learn the system of how to sell first, right? How to reach out to homeowners, how to actually present the information, how to design the system. And that pillar 1 has to be set. And then pillar 2, the foundation, right? The automation. How do you manage leads? That has to be set. And now pillar 3, because those pillar 1 and pillar 2 is already set. Now let's put fuel in the fire. Okay. And a lot of times, a lot of reps that are new, or even seasoned consultants, they have this all jumbled up and they don't have a systematic process to make sure and verify that their system is tight. They're just basically out there knocking doors and hoping and praying that they get a lead and they close a deal. And the system is not tight. Okay. So we want to make sure that the system is very, very tight. Okay. Awesome. So pillar number 3 is lead generation. So I want to go over lead generation strategies with you. I'm going to go over first, like traditional marketing. Hey, good morning, Matthew. I want to go over traditional marketing. And then from there, we're going to go over like paid marketing. Okay. Traditional marketing means that it's free to, there is some expense, but it's not much. Okay. And I'll explain what I mean by that here in a second, right? Traditional marketing, it's not necessarily absolutely free. Obviously, door to door is free financially, but it's not necessarily free with your time. Okay. So door to door is always going to be the best starting point. If you don't have finances right now to buy leads, run ads, buy data, totally cool. I was in the same exact situation. So what you need to do is go knock doors. But more importantly, you don't want to just knock doors. You want to knock doors and have an intention and a plan to exit from the door. Okay. A lot of folks that are getting started, they don't have an exit plan. I stress on this so much with you guys that's following me on YouTube and all of our students. I stress highly that eventually you have to have an exit plan. You can't just be stuck at the door forever. So imagine if you're out in California and whatever happens in California, obviously there's a lot of uncertainties about NEM 3.0, but imagine if the solar industry just takes a big halt in California. So there's a few things that you can do. The first thing is you can learn how to sell online. So it doesn't matter if you're in California and something happens, you're working with other states as well, and you're generating leads in other states and other cities. And it doesn't matter if one city kind of collapses, right? Or if you're in California, the other option is if you want to continue selling solar. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just giving you like worst case situation after NEM 3.0. Worst case situation is you have to move. If you're strictly doing door to door in California, something happens, it does not make sense anymore to go solar in California for whatever reason, then you're going to have to move. But if you love living in California, obviously you probably love the weather. And if you want to stay in California, you want to still sell solar in California, you have to learn how to sell solar virtually. It's inevitable, right? Even now, even if NEM 3.0 is absolutely cool, we continue selling solar in California, that is just a warning sign for you that, hey, you know what? My business is volatile, meaning that if something happens in this particular market, because I'm only selling in one market, if something ever happens, then my whole business collapses, right? So make sure that you're setting yourself up for success, right? Good morning, solar family. What's going on? What's up, Damon? How are you, man? Good morning. So you have to really set yourself up for success and you have to foresee things. Okay. As a 1099 business owner, you have to foresee things like, what is the projection of my business? Is it volatile to like, NEM 3.0? If something happens and the market shuts down, is my whole business going to shut down? So for example, right, I had an energy consulting company in San Jose. That's how I got started in the energy industry field. And our energy consulting company was tied to a program called Energy Upgrade California. Maybe some of you guys heard this before. So Energy Upgrade California is a rebate program. It was good for 4 years. I think they extended it a little bit longer. It was good for 4 years at the time, and a homeowner can qualify based on an energy assessment. They can qualify up to $4,000, right? Depending on how much money they could save on the retrofits that we recommend. So to make a long story short, that energy consulting company was tied to a rebate program. And it was contingent. If that rebate program went away, our business model was flawed. It would go away. So we knew that from the get-go. We knew we had about 4 years, 5 years run, and we had to make as much as we can during that time. And we did super amazing. Like, it was literally just my wife and I. I literally, when we started the business, I'll give you a backstory. When we started that business, and we started an energy consulting company, I was coming from a job of managing um, what do you call that? Like the robotics team, like the I was working for Toyota, okay, at the time, and I was in charge of like upgrading the model changes and things like that. So, for example, if we changed the body of the car, we would go to Japan, learn all the new strategies and techniques and how to apply paint, how to apply sealant. Then we would bring it back to the plant and we would teach everybody else. Okay, that was what I was in charge of that for. Well, I was managing for over 13 years, right? And from there, the plant closed down. And at that point, I was thinking like, okay, what are we going to do? Also had a tinting company, right? A window tinting. It was genius, right? We had a window tinting company because we were working on a manufacturing plant. So the window tinting company was across the street. So folks that wanted the cars tinted, they would drop it off there. By the time they get off the shift, boom, the car was already tinted. So you're probably asking, well, why are you talking about tinting, right? So that's how we got started in the whole energy upgrade consulting firm, because we started tinting cars. Somebody told us about tinting like residential properties. Then we looked into tinting like windows for commercial, and it just got bigger and bigger from there, right? So from there, we found out this energy upgrade program where we can qualify for it, where we could be energy assessors. My wife and I, we had no background in like energy industry field, right? My wife is a lawyer. I'm a manager, right? I majored in business, so we had nothing. We knew nothing about like residential properties. You know what I mean? And we were like, we're taking courses or classes at the time at the local college. It was a 4-week long course. My wife and I jumped in that course with other contractors, and keep in mind, my wife and I are not contractors, right? At the time. So we didn't even know what a crawl space was, what a furnace and things of that nature, right? We went up in the attic. We're like, what the heck is this, right? We were totally clueless. But to make a long story short, that's how we got started in the whole energy industry field. And the reason why I'm telling you that is we were attached to that rebate program, the energy upgrade rebate program. And knowing that the program was eventually going to go away, our business model was flawed, right? It was tied to a rebate program. And if anything happened to that rebate program, our whole entire business was just gone. So that's exactly what happened. We already knew it. After 4+ years, the rebate program went away. It kind of came back a little bit, but we jumped out of it. That's how I transitioned into solar. So the reason I'm telling you that is right now are the signs of the market being volatile to these types of changes. And if you're only selling in one state, for example, like California, and something happens, right? God forbid something happens and like it completely shuts down for whatever reason, and we just never know. There's never ever any guarantees that it'll be here forever. But if something happens, just like NEM 3.0, you have to be prepared, right? You have to be prepared. Even though we may have a countermeasure for the whole NEM 3.0, we're probably more likely going to continue selling solar in California, but you just never know. The point is, set your business up for success, knowing that the signs are written on the wall that your business can be volatile, just like our energy consulting company, because it was tied to a rebate program. Knowing what we're seeing now, make sure that you learn how to generate leads all over the country. So it wouldn't matter to you if the market shuts down for whatever reason, right? Because I get this question asked a lot, like, hey, Jim, what do you think about NEM 3.0, right? What is your feedback? And I always give the same feedback like I told you guys. It's kind of uncertainty right now. We don't 100% know. Obviously, the energy needs to be backed up somewhere and stored somewhere for NEM to work. So some kind of battery storage has to be used. But I always tell people that I talk to and give the feedback about NEM 3.0 is, and I'm not trying to be harsh and desensitive, I'm not trying to be an asshole about it, but it doesn't matter to me what happens in California, right? It doesn't matter to the majority of our students what happens in California. Obviously, we're keeping an eye in California, but the reason why I say that is because for me personally, I've set up my business over the last 7+ years to be we're selling solar online. Okay. So it doesn't matter what one market does. Obviously, they're the trendsetter. We're going to keep an eye on it. But there are other markets that are still amazing to sell solar outside of California. That's why it's super important to set your business up for success, because Traditional solar companies are not going to teach you these things. I'm going to teach you these things because we're going through it, and myself and my company and the students that we're teaching are all going through it, and this is all based on experience. And again, I want to set up your business for success. And unfortunately, California is really volatile right now, and something may happen where it doesn't make sense to go solar in California. And if that's the case, knowing where you're at now, and I don't know your situation, knowing where you're at now, you have to assess your business that, you know what, I need to get leads outside of my market. If I'm only selling in California, how do I do that? Okay. How do I do that? So start thinking about that now. You have a few months, if you're strictly selling in California, to really think about like, what is the next step? Right? Don't get smacked in the face when April 14th comes and you're going to think like, what should I do now on April 14th? Now, how do I generate leads when the signs were on the wall for months, right? For 4 months, they're setting you up and they're saying, hey, this is going to happen in 4 months. So make sure that you set up your business, okay, properly so you don't get wiped out, okay? So you don't get wiped out. So hopefully that makes sense, right? So obviously door-to-door is going to be the first source because it's absolutely free financially. It's not necessarily free with your time, from your time, but it's going to be free financially. So door-to-door is going to be the best way to start out when you don't have any finances right now to go buy leads or to run ads, okay? That's going to be the best way. But obviously you have to still set up your business, to succeed. So remember, we still have to set up pillar 1, pillar 2, especially pillar 2, which is automation. So if you don't have the automation to manage those leads, right, the ones that you get, and I talked to you about this yesterday, is, when you're getting those leads at the door, you should be capturing their information so you can send them information, right? These are the things that we teach with Solar Pipeline. Make sure that you get Solar Pipeline so now you have a foundation. Now you have something to catch the leads with, okay? So for example, if there's no water, right? There's no way to drink water or capture water, right? And you need to obviously hydrate yourself, maybe your family. And when the rain comes, right, your strategy is to put your hand out like this, right? And hopefully you can catch enough water to supply yourself, within a couple months to hydrate yourself and your family, for example. That's not going to be enough, right? This is not a good strategy. What you need to get is a big ass funnel that funnels into a 100-gallon drum so it can capture, right, as much water as the clouds supply you. Okay, it's the same exact thing in business. When you have leads, you have to be able to capture all these leads. You can't just like hope and pray that they're gonna eventually call you because you handed a business card or you handed a rep card. That works, but the conversion rate is low. So what you need to understand is, let me set up my business first so I can go out there and generate leads so I'm more efficient, right? I'm more efficient at the door. Not only am I working hard, I'm working smart, okay? Last night, some guy said, I want to work smarter, not harder. And I was listening to Eric Thomas a few days ago, and he's like, I want to do both. I want to work hard, but smart, right? You want to work hard, but smart. Why don't you combine the two so you get exponential growth in your business, right? So we always get the saying like, oh, work smarter, not harder, right? Yes, sounds great, but you still got to work hard. But if you're going to work hard, might as well work smart, okay? Does that make sense, everybody? So again, it's just one of those things that really setting up your business, because pillar number 3 is lead generation. That's what we're talking about. But I can't stress enough, if your system or your business is not set up properly, you're going to spin your wheels just like everybody else. We jump on so many solar strategy calls, hundreds of them every single month. And guess what? A lot of folks, a high percentage of folks want leads, right? They honestly feel like they need leads, but it's not leads what you need right now. And even if we were to give you hundreds or thousands of leads, how do you manage that, right? How do you manage that? It's impossible to manage leads when you don't have a system in place, okay? And also when you're getting leads, if your sales pitch is not on point, you're just going to be wasting them. That's like a double whammy, So I'm going to answer some questions that you guys have. And if you guys have any questions, make sure you guys type it in the chat, okay? Type it in the chat. And again, I'm going to spend 30 minutes to an hour of my time and help you guys grow your business. I'm also planning on going live in the evenings because some folks are asking me like, "Hey, I can't make it in the mornings. Can you have this training or these trainings in the evening?" So I can't commit 100%. I'm going to be live every single evening, but I am going to add it on my calendar on certain days. So if you can't make it to the training in the morning, at least there's something in the evening. Okay. And it's one of those things that you can just watch the recording as well, but I want to interact. That's the whole purpose of this, is to interact with you and answer questions that you guys have like right now. Okay. That's the whole reason. Um, so Damien, do you think Texas will regulate some of the net metering laws like California someday? It's possible. Okay, it's possible. You guys know it's California in any policies, procedures, whether it's the green movement in California, they're really influential. So what's happening in California, I don't want to disregard like, hey, it's never going to happen anywhere else, because they are the trendsetter in the whole United States, right? In certain policies and procedures. So we really got to keep one eye open, right? One eye open. It can happen. I don't want to say it will, but again, it can happen, right? It can. If they can do it in California, which is a giant, and the solar movement, it's a giant. Imagine if they could take that giant down. They could take anybody else down, right? In every single state, they can apply the same laws and regulations, and the public utility company can do the same things. So we really got to keep an eye on it. Okay, really, really keep an eye on it. Um, it's deregulated here, but literally millions of people are moving here from California. Absolutely. There's a lot of people moving here in California from California. Obviously, they just don't. For me personally, we moved to Dallas. We just, it's obviously it's not the weather. Okay. We didn't move here for the weather. You guys know that, right? California has the best weather. That's one thing that's going for California. But obviously, the other reasons why I move here outweighs the weather. Okay, don't get me wrong. We still head out to California in the summer because it gets really hot here. We have the opportunity, we're blessed enough to take off when it's super hot. But yeah, there are a lot of folks moving out here. So it's just one of those things that, as far as solar, though, right? As far as solar, I don't know what their beliefs are and what the agenda with the folks that are moving to California, from California to Texas. But again, pertaining back to solar, you just never know, right? You just never know. So even if the regulations happen in 2 states, I mean, there's other states out there. Right now, we have probably 30 states that we sell solar in, right? They're going to literally have to wipe out every single state, all 30 of them, for us to go out of business. But if they knock one state out, hey, you know what? We don't want that to happen, but we're still in business. Okay. That's why it's really important. I'm telling you guys now, it's like a PSA, public service announcement, that because I'm very experienced in the solar industry, I just want to share my experiences with you. So you don't have to go things that I went through, right? Or even just go through the things I went through, like door to door, but the time is shorter. I was at the door for a year. I didn't like the door. Some folks love the door, which is absolutely cool. I didn't like the door, right? I want to be around my family. I want to have location freedom. I want to have more time freedom. A lot of people ask me, like, you know what? You're selling solar online. What do you mean by time freedom? I mean, think about time freedom, right? So imagine in California, right? I was in the Bay Area in California, and I had 3 to 4 appointments every single day. And you know how California is super congested, just a lot of traffic. So you're sitting there with a homeowner for hour and a half, then you got to travel to the next home. That's going to take you an hour to hour and a half to get to. Then it's not like, it's in a central line. You realize you're literally like maybe 2.5, 3 hours away from your home, right? So you're driving around all day. So the great thing with selling by selling solar online, and the reason why it's better and you save time, is because now you're at home, right? You don't have to have that drive time. So that means that you could be more efficient. Instead of driving around for 3 or 4 hours a day meeting homeowners, now you can utilize that time for 3 or 4 hours to meet more homeowners, or to create a brand, or to run ads, or to create videos, right? Now you can capitalize on this time. And keep in mind as well, some folks just don't show up, right? So write in a comment right now, whoever went to an appointment and you knocked on the door for a face-to-face consultation, the homeowner just ghosted you, right? Type in me, right? Type in me if that's you. If you ever went to a consultation and you knocked on the door and you drove an hour, 30 minutes, hour plus, I've heard people drive 3-4 hours away, and they get there, they knock on the door, and nobody answers. Right? That's horrific. That's a waste of time. Right? It's a total waste of time. So imagine that if that happened to me on a Zoom. I logged on a Zoom here, waiting for a homeowner. Homeowner didn't show up. Hey, it's all good. I take off my polo shirt. I'm literally in my shorts, and I go back to, hanging out with my family. Or I go back to replying back to emails or calling more homeowners, right? Not a big deal. No harm, no foul. Ideally, I would love to have spoken with that person. But hey, I didn't spend too much time. I literally logged in for 2 minutes, right? Obviously, I'll probably stay on a little longer, give them a chance, at least like 10, 15 minutes. They don't show up, texting, calling, they don't show up. Hey, log off, do something else. Okay? Do something else. So for the folks that haven't experienced as far as being ghosted at the door and you drove there for 2 or 3 hours, right? Or maybe 45 minutes, whatever that is, right? Even an hour, that's an hour of your life. That's an hour of your life going out there, hour of your life going back, right? So that's one of the things that frustrated me the most as well is, I had to drive it all over the place. I mean, you could literally capture that time if you can get leads online, and now you just sell it via Zoom, okay? Absolutely, Alan. You're very welcome, man. You're very welcome. Okay, so Charlie said, hey, James, how can I generate leads online if I don't have the money for it, right? So you can, right? You can do this. Obviously, it's going to take a little more elbow grease, okay? But in the meantime, continue to knock doors. Continue to knock doors. If you don't have the finances right now, don't just solely depend on this strategy I'm gonna go over as far as like free online leads. Don't just solely depend on it, because again, the doors is going to give you the fastest results as far as like closing a deal. Okay. May not be the best. It may not be the most ideal. Some parts of the country right now, it's snowing. When it's summer, it's hot as heck. Right. So it may not be the most ideal, but again, it's just one of those things that it does work, and you're going to get faster results, right? That's the key word, faster results, because everything that you do, whether it's knocking on doors, hanging door flyers, standing in front of Home Depots, running ads, all of those are going to have a conversion, right? It's all going to have a conversion, but you want to have or focus on where you can get the highest conversion rate as possible to close a deal, right? Not the lowest conversion rate. So meaning that if I had to choose from the two, knocking on doors or going in social media and spamming everybody or spamming every group, I'd rather work and focus my time on knocking doors, because that's going to be the highest producing activity I can do. Okay. Then like doing social media marketing, or not social media, like cold reach out. Okay. So to answer your question, Charlie, you can, right? You can join groups. So obviously there are a lot of groups right now out there that could be, car groups, like maybe Tesla groups. If you have a Tesla, right? There's a lot of like home improvement groups, gardening groups. Just join a group that you would enjoy like chiming in and giving your feedback to. Okay. Because a lot of folks join these groups, they're not really interested in, say, for example, gardening, but they're kind of spamming them and they're just reaching out. The first day they get approved in the group, and the first thing they do is, hey, who wants to go solar here? Right? Nobody does. Nobody wants to go solar. Okay. That's not the right approach. It's always going to be provide value first in the group that you enjoy and like you enjoy receiving content from, and you enjoy giving feedback to. That's going to be a more sustainable type of group and relationship. And then from there, provide value in the group. So for example, if you like Teslas, right? And then you're in there talking about Teslas and they see you chiming in there for a couple of weeks, and then you drop it like, hey, I'm also in solar. Or maybe you take a picture of like, some guys in the group that you guys hung out with, and maybe you're able to talk to them about solar, and maybe they installed solar with you. Take a picture with them, create a testimonial. Hey, here's Billy Bob here. He's one of the guys in the Tesla group. I'm here at his house. We're looking into installing solar on his house to power his Tesla. And again, it's not spamming, right? A lot of folks, man, you guys probably experienced this before, right? Whether you're spamming a group or you request to be a friend with somebody with the intention of not necessarily building an authentic relationship, as soon as they accept you as a friend, you Facebook message them like, hey, have you considered going solar? You don't know how many messages I get. Like I accept folks as a friend on Facebook, and they hit me up right away. Right? It's like, here you go. Here goes the person that's going to just pitch me something without providing any value in my life. I literally just accept you as a friend. Now you're asking me to buy something that you're selling. That's not how it's going to work. Okay. So obviously going into those Facebook groups is absolutely free. Start creating content, right? Start creating content on YouTube. Start creating content on YouTube and just think about just giving back, right? Think about some of the objections, some of the questions that homeowners have because they're completely new and they're doing research in solar. And just think about some of the things that there would be researching. How much money can I save by going solar, right? Start posting those things on YouTube. And eventually you're going to get traction if you're consistent at it. Okay. If you really want to help, right? It's like help people without expecting anything in return and just be consistent at it. It may not happen overnight. You might not get leads and like hundreds and hundreds of leads overnight. But again, it's just one of those things that just be consistent because you have a bigger vision that you want to be an expert in solar. And the way to do that is to position yourself online, right? Those are the things that we teach you in Solar University is how do you position yourself online? Again, a lot of these things are a long-term play, right? It's not going to be instant gratification. It's going to be a long-term play because if you're here for the long haul, if you want to create an amazing business in solar, it's going to take a little bit of time. Okay. It's not going to be like, it's like a baseball. They're not going to throw one pitch at you. You're going to swing and you're going to hit a home run. Not everybody can do that. But it's just one of those things that you're always up to bat and you're always swinging at it, right? Sometimes you strike out and sometimes you get a base hit. And it's one of those things that you're consistent. I cannot stress that enough, right? In this industry, it's amazing. But again, it's just one of those things that learning strategies, like for example, like online marketing or sales or automation, learning these strategies and be consistent at it, right? Be consistent. A lot of folks are in and out, in and out, in and out. They're doing other things. And it's very difficult, right? And you guys heard this before. It's very difficult to focus on this business if you're doing 5 other businesses. Okay. This business here can reach your financial goal. It can. But it's just one of those things that is going to require complete focus from you to learn the things you don't know and to implement it in your business. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense, Charlie. I mean, you could go in groups, create videos on YouTube, start creating TikTok videos, and eventually you'll get traction, right? But is this one of those things as well? It's like have that exit plan, right? So again, at the end of the day, hey, you're doing free activities right now on social media. Yes, it's taking a little bit more elbow grease. Yes, you can't run ads right now, promote the posts that you have, but you're also knocking doors and you have a vision, an exit plan. Maybe within 4 to 6 months, you're not knocking doors anymore, right? Maybe this year, this summer, you're already planning like, you know what? I'm going to have to knock doors all summer long. But after summer, like September, October, now I have the finances to really grow my business because now I got commissions, I got sales that came in, and now I can look for alternative ways to generate leads, which is basically whether you buy them or you run ads. Okay, that's the way to get set up properly because a lot of folks want to transition to like virtual sales right away. It's great if you have the finances to run ads, right? To run ads and first and foremost, also to learn the strategies because you have to invest first in learning the strategy first. It's not just like I'm going to dump all my money into this XYZ lead generation company, get exclusive solar leads, and I don't have a system in place on how to manage those leads. My sales pitch is horrible. I don't have any videos set up. There's a lot of things that you need to create the foundation before you start buying leads, right? Even if you have the finances to run ads right now or to purchase leads, if you don't have the other 2 pillars, which is sales and automation, if you don't have those 2 pillars, then don't even think about purchasing leads right now because you're just going to waste it. And then you're going to give up. You're going to say that lead generation company sucks. I wasn't able to close any deals, but it may be your process. It may not be the lead generation company, right? It may not be the quality. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes it is quality of leads, but it may not be that. It may just be because you didn't set up your business properly and you kind of jumped the gun a little bit because you have some finances to run ads And then from there, you fail because the business is not set up properly. Okay. Um, so what I want to teach you is how to really set up your business, right? We have the 4 pillars, and this is in chronological order. And the third pillar, after you have or mastered pillar 1 and 2, is pillar 3, which is leads. Okay. Yeah, Damien says spam a lot on Facebook. It happens, right? I think everybody did, but it doesn't work, right? It's Gary Vaynerchuk. Yeah, you guys probably follow Gary Vaynerchuk. He has a motto. It's jab, punch, right? Just like boxers, right? They jab, jab, jab. They're not just like power punching like every single time, right? It's jab, jab means jabbing means providing value, providing value, providing value, providing value, and then bow, right? You punch, which is you ask for a sale or you ask for a consultation, but you don't ask for the consultation, ask for the consultation right from the get-go. You have to jab it a little bit, right? Give value, give value, give value. And when you see the opening there, maybe somebody engages with you, bow, power punch, ask for the sale, right? Does that make sense, everybody? Don't be the spammer. I think, Damien, everybody's been a spammer, right? Everybody has, especially with social media now. I mean, obviously, Facebook's been around for a while now. So if you're coming in this industry and you're like, I'm going to join a group, right? I got a great idea, right? A lot of folks are new. I got a great idea. I'm going to go in the realtor, like mortgage group, and I'm going to go in there and talk to those guys about solar, right? So great strategy, great strategy. But if you're just getting in now and that's your strategy, keep in mind that this game has been on for a long time. Okay. So meaning that I don't want to burst your bubble, that probably there's been a lot of solar consultants that already reached out to the same exact group that you're thinking of reaching out to. So you have to be strategic on how to reach out. You have to be strategic. And the way to do that is the jab, jab, punch, right? You're reaching out to those Facebook groups, maybe realtors or mortgage brokers. Tell them that, hey, you want to have a meeting, a greet and meet. And the great thing is you're going to pay for the food. Because what happens when there's free food? What happens when there's free food, right? Take a wild guess. Anyone, what happens when somebody offers free food, right, at a meeting? What happens? Everybody shows up, right? They may not be intentionally wanting to see or hear your presentation, but because there's free food, people come. And now you have an audience, and it's your job to pique that curiosity with that audience. And you basically, dangled them or you baited them with free food, right? That's just the nature of the beast. But you have to be strategic about it. You can't just go like talk to mortgage brokers, call them up like, hey, I got this thing about solar. I can save you some money and I can save your homeowners money. I'm going to give you a percentage. More than likely, because this game has been on for a very long time, for many, many years, more than likely somebody already, maybe multiple or a lot of people already talked to that mortgage broker about solar. So you have to approach it a different way, right? So maybe you do a greet and meet. Maybe you're doing a lunch and learn. Because the great thing is with lunch and learns, right, with mortgage brokers, it could be towards their continuing education. Okay? Just a heads up. If you guys want to reach out to mortgage brokers and they're sitting there in a meeting for a lunch and learn about solar, it goes towards their continuing education. So that's another angle that you guys can hit. Okay? And it definitely doesn't happen overnight. Absolutely, Damien. It does not happen overnight. Just forget about it. Okay? If you're building a business, you're not going to be successful overnight. Forget about all the social media that we look at on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, where all these folks are jet setting everywhere, pulling up in Lamborghinis and Bentleys and Rolls Royces. That didn't happen overnight. Okay? That didn't happen overnight. They have a strategy. They invested in themselves. They have a system in place. They create a foundation to get to that level. But it doesn't happen overnight, just like Damon's saying. But if you set up your business for success, how about it happens for you and you reach your financial goals in 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, right? Imagine if you're making millions of dollars in 4 or 5 years. That's amazing. Some folks are never going to make millions of dollars ever in the whole entire life because they are not taking the risk, right? They're not taking the risk because you guys probably saw that crypto commercial from Matt Damon, right? The fortune favors the brave. The fortune favors the brave. And when you're a 1099 rep and there's not a consistent like paycheck that you're getting every single month or every single week, you're taking a big risk, right? You're brave and you're taking the risk, and the fortune is going to follow that because the fortune is going to favor the brave, and that's why you guys are all here, right? Because you want to be financially successful or more successful than you were in your previous career. But obviously, in your previous career, just like mine with Toyota, they already had all the systems. I was literally just a piece of the puzzle, right? And they already set up the SOPs, the manpower, the logistics. They already set everything up, and I was a piece of the puzzle. But when you're getting into solar and you're a 1099 solar rep, you're basically a business owner. So it's up to you to set up those puzzles. So the first puzzle, obviously, you're wearing all the hats, right? Because it's just you. You're a solo solarpreneur. But eventually, as you grow and as you learn strategies from like this type of training, then you grow and you implement it and you start growing. Now you start taking off this hat. Say, for example, it's the lead generation hat, and you give it to somebody else to generate leads for you because now you have an exit strategy that you executed. Okay? Because when you have a strategy, just like what we help you with the solar strategy calls, that's why it's really important for you to book a call with us. It's absolutely free. There's no obligation. There's no strings attached to it. We want to help you and strategize with you, whether it's joining one of our training programs, whether it's pointing you in a different direction. It's absolutely free. And we're going to give you all the knowledge that we have so you can significantly cut your learning curve. And it's absolutely free. We're giving away literally 30 minutes of our time for you guys. So make sure you book that solar strategy call because eventually, right? Eventually, it may be not just going to be you anymore, right? It's not going to be you anymore. So because if you have plans and goals to hit multiple six figures, 300,000, 500,000, $1 million a year, that is going to require more people. Okay. It's not just going to be you. Okay. Especially when you're taking it to like multiple six figures, 500 grand, $1 million a year, whatever your goals are, it's not going to be you anymore. It's going to require a strategy, a plan, a team to help you reach those goals. And ideally, you should eventually step away from the selling part of solar, right? I'm not telling you to do that right now, right? I'm not telling you to do that right now. But eventually, if you think about it, there's going to be a point in your career you're like, dude, I'm just tired of selling stuff, right? I'm just tired of selling solar, right? Or you're not too passionate about that anymore because you're growing and you're like, you know what? I see myself more like working on my business than in my business. And then from there, you're going to start, separating yourself from the day-to-day operations with the sales because now you have a sales organization. And that literally, when I say sales organization, I don't mean that you have, 500 people, 200 people, 100 sales reps, right? That sales organization could be two other people. That sales organization could be one other person selling solar, and you're not selling solar anymore. You're just generating the lead and growing the business, growing your brand, right? It's not necessarily, having a massive team. But again, it's one of those things that if you want to take your business to the next level in 2023, book a solar strategy call, right? solarstrategycall.com. And for the folks that already, I'm gonna put it in the chat here as well. Just copy and paste it into another URL. And for the folks that you don't have any automation in place, you don't have installers that are amazing. You need more training. You need a marketplace to to purchase like cold data. Check out Solar Pipeline, solarpipeline.com, solarpipeline.com. Damien, do I have a LinkedIn? Yes, I do. James Ramos, Ramos. That's my LinkedIn. All right, everybody. Make sure to book a solar strategy call, share it with your colleagues, share it with your friends and family, right? Solar Pipeline is a software that I'm promoting this year. And obviously the next few years, right? It's a software that we created. We've been working on this software for 2 years now, and we're ready to launch it. And it's going to really help you grow your book of business, right? It's going to help you not only sell more solar, it's going to help you create a more passive stream of income. Okay. more passive streaming income, meaning that it's going to pay you over and over again. So for example, all right, let me give you an example. So it's great selling solar, right? But again, to make a sale, to make a commission, you got to be on the line, on a Zoom or face to face to close that deal. So imagine if you were able to say get a passive income of an extra $500, right? And let me know. Let me take a quick survey with you guys that's watching me live and on a replay. How much right now are you paying for your car note? How much is your car note right now? Just give me a dollar amount. Is it a $500, $800, $1,000? $300? What is your car note right now? How much are you guys paying for your car note? So imagine if your car note is $500, and imagine because you're getting passive income, $427. Okay, thanks, Damon. So if you're, for example, let's use Damon's example, right? So you're paying $427 a month, every single month for your car, maybe insurance as well as another $50-$60, right? So you're $500 in, Damon. So imagine if you can make a passive income using solar pipeline, and you have a passive income now that pays for your car note. Okay. And that's just an example. Imagine now like your car note and your cell phone bill, right? Because just like anything, when you're creating passive income, it doesn't happen overnight, right? But imagine if it started with a car note. Okay. Maybe your goal is like, hey, you know what? Let me bring on a couple of subscribers to Solar Pipeline. Let me refer some folks to Solar Pipeline. Once you subscribe to Solar Pipeline, you're going to have an affiliate link where not only do you have an amazing software where you can have installers training, a marketplace to purchase leads, support, appointment setters, website development. It's all there in one software. Not only do you personally have that, imagine sharing that with other people in the industry. Maybe you have colleagues as well that are looking for the same type of amazing software that you have. So imagine having those guys on there. And now instead of paying your car note, now it's also paying your car note and also your cell phone bill. And if you really think about it, how about if it paid your car note, your cell phone bill, and your rent, or maybe your mortgage payment? How much more weight is going to be off your shoulder, right? Because I carry a burden as well as far as like the load of making sure that you have enough money to pay for things like your overhead expenses every single month, right? So you probably already also carry that load on like, okay, I got to make X amount of money this month to pay for my car note, my living expenses, my utility bills, my rent, my mortgage, the food. I have to make X amount of money, right? Whatever that is for you. If it's $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, whatever it is. But imagine by referring people to Solar Pipeline, right? Now you're getting passive income that will pay for those things. It's going to start out maybe paying for a meal. It's going to start out maybe paying for a gas like every single week. But eventually, if you think about it, if you can grow a passive income in solar and also sell solar on the side, imagine if that passive income took care of all your monthly overhead expenses. How much more freedom and flexibility and stress would be lifted off your shoulder if that was the situation? Imagine if all your overhead every single month was paid for, and now the solar deals that you're closing, like every single month, you're closing maybe 1, 2, 3 deals with solar, and all that is just gravy. It's extra, right? It's not the necessity to pay for the bills. It's literally extra where you can now invest this money into something else. Okay. That's the power of it all. And that's what I'm sharing with you guys. I know how you feel. I've been in that situation, even though I'm 8 years maybe ahead of you, but I'm sharing with you guys things that can remove some weight off your shoulders. And I know one of the biggest thing is because you're a 1099, you have to depend on these deals closing. You have to, because that's the only way you're making income, right? So we have 7 streams of income in Solar Pipeline. Not only can you make amazing commissions from the deals you personally close, there's other streams of income like affiliate commission, like I just referred to you guys, right? Where you can make other streams of income and not just solar. Because I used to just sell solar and that's it. But now as we grew or grown the business, now I can step out and just completely selling solar. We have a team of folks that sell solar. We have software, we have affiliates. There's so many other streams of income that I'm sharing with you. I'm opening up literally my streams of income with you. Okay. So check out Solar Pipeline. I kind of got diverted from the topic here. We got a few more minutes. But again, I just want to go over lead generation, right? But with Solar Pipeline, there's a marketplace where you can purchase leads. There's leads in there you can buy just cold data, right? It's $1,000 one time for 1 year, right? $1,000 1 year. We can upload up to 500 cold data leads into your pipeline. Okay. So I honestly feel instead of knocking doors when it's super cold outside, maybe you could supplement that, from knocking doors to actually cold calling. Because at the end of the day, the door is still cold, right? It's still a cold lead. So it's either a cold lead where you're outside also cold when you're freezing because it's cold outside, or you get cold data and you're cold calling that data. Okay. So I'm not saying just to do that like completely, like that's an addition to what you're doing. Okay. It's always going to be addition. All the marketing activities that you're going to do from this day forward is going to be an addition to what you're currently doing. Meaning that if you're knocking doors right now, you're getting results, you're closing 2 or 3 deals a month, or maybe even more, right? For the closers out there, you're probably making more than that, which is absolutely cool. So when you're buying data or you're buying like leads or you're running ads, that's just extra for now. Okay. A lot of folks, they make a big mistake when they start buying leads, right? They got $5,000, they're buying leads. They completely scratch the door to door. They're like, I'm done, right? I'm buying leads now. Leads are coming in. Yes, that's awesome. That's amazing. You're on your way to virtual sales, but it hasn't replaced your current income at the door yet. Okay. So make sure that you're staying at the door until those leads from that you're getting online replaces what you're currently making at the door. And even when it replaces it, right? Say, for example, you're closing 3 deals at the door, you're running ads or buying leads. Now you're closing 3 deals like virtually. Might as well do that for a little bit, right? Remember the saying, I want to work smarter, not harder. No, work harder and smarter, right? So do both. So you're working hard, but you're working smart. So now you're doubling your sales now. So not only people or consultants make a mistake when they start running ads, they drop the door to door and it hasn't replaced their current income. And they're wondering like, oh, shoot, no, I'm going broke. I'm going negative on my bank account. Well, yeah, the reason being is you dropped the whole door to door prematurely, right? Prematurely. So if you're closing 2, 3, 4 deals at the door, you're getting leads now online. Just continue to do both. Maybe the sales here for online is going to be down here, but eventually you'll catch up. Eventually you'll exceed it. And then from there, then you can make a decision to be like, you know what? I'm going to exit away from the door now. I'm making a whole lot more now virtually than knocking doors. And I don't have time to knock on doors anymore. I have so many leads coming in, have so many appointments via Zoom. And that's a good problem to have. Then now you can completely scratch the door. Does that make sense? And that's going to be the safest way to transition from door to door and to exit the door to virtual sales. Because a lot of folks will not teach you a safe way, okay? A lot of people, when you're getting in the solar industry, I'm going to give you guys the scoop. Maybe you experience this, and this is something that in our strategy calls, we discourage a lot of people that if you currently have a job, you are blessed. If you currently have a job right now in a different industry, not in solar, and you're looking into transitioning into solar, if you have a job, you're blessed. You may not like it, but stay there. Stay there and do solar part-time, because what happens is you may find out in a couple weeks, in a couple months, that solar is not for you, right? You may find that out. You don't want to find it hard way when you quit and you burn your bridge, right? You burnt all your boats. You're like, forget it. I'm listening to these guys. I'm burning all my boats behind me, right? This is all I'm doing. This is plan A. And you find out later that this is not for you. It's harder than you thought it would be. And now you aren't making any sales. You're not making any commissions. Somebody sold you a dream, but it wasn't set up properly. Okay. So there is a time to transition as well from your current job into solar, but you don't want to burn those boats prematurely as well, because you may need it, right? You may need it, especially if you have family. Most of you guys probably have like expenses, like monthly overhead expenses, right? Unless you're living with your mom and dad and you're 17 years old, 18 years old, and you can burn those boats. And if you have no revenue, you can still stay in your mom's basement and your mom can feed you, your parents can feed you. If that's your situation, then maybe. But not everybody's in that situation. So make sure that you're burning those boats in the right time. Don't burn those boats prematurely And now you're like stuck. And so it's the same exact thing with lead generation, right? You don't want to prematurely stop what you're doing where you're getting results. And then now you're not getting the results yet for online ads and you burned the boats prematurely. Okay. So obviously that's strategies. I'm going to ramble off because I have a few more minutes here, guys. And thanks for you guys' time. And I want to respect you guys' time. I don't want to go over. I got literally 3 minutes. And so I'm not going to be able to dive in deep as far as like each strategy here, but really quickly, right? Traditional means that, it's free to very minimal expense. So free is obviously door to door, right? You can also do farmers market. You may not be able to do that now, depending on where you live, right? In the West Coast, possibly, because it's still okay. The weather is still going to be okay to go into like farmers markets and things of that nature. Farmers markets is going to be a good one too, right? Going to like Ranch 99 or smaller like grocery stores and talking to the manager about, setting up a table outside. And obviously when you're setting up a table at a grocery store, you got to get permission. You can't just like be out there like the Girl Scout cookie girls, right? You can't just be out there, set up a table and start, talking about solar. You have to get permission from the store owner. So talk to the manager, buy a couple gift cards from the store, and you can let them know that you're going to give these gift cards out to homeowners that sign up for a consultation. And as they're walking into the store because they signed up for a consultation, you give them a gift card. So now it's a win-win situation because now you already purchased the gift card and now they're buying stuff in their store. Okay, it's a win-win situation. Door flyers, obviously, it works, but you got to be really strategic with door flyers. For me personally, anything that you're going to put on the lawn or put on the door, you should put your face on it, right? Just put your face so they get familiar with you and your face. Okay. It's just like branding, right? You got to brand yourself. Start putting your face on literally everything. Every marketing material that you physically hang on the door, your face should be on it, right? Because now you're like the local solar expert. Okay. Put your face on it. So those are some of the free ways or very cheap ways to generate leads, right? And obviously, the paid traffic would be paying for leads. Like literally you buy leads. Like for us in Solar Pipeline, you can purchase warmer leads, right? There's a marketplace you could purchase warmer leads, or you could purchase cheaper leads where they're colder data, like I mentioned earlier. Okay, so you can purchase the leads. You can purchase cold data. We don't have this right now, but we are planning on doing this in the future. Is having training and teaching you how to run ads yourself. Okay. So meaning that you would take some sort of training. Obviously, it's going to take an investment. That could be a couple $1,000s to learn on how to generate leads or run ads, say, for example, on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Learn from proven experts that are currently, running ads right now. Learn from them and start running your own ads. That's another idea, right? And ideally, this is how you're going to start out. Ideally, you're probably going to buy the cheaper data and also learn on how to do it yourself. Okay, because you already know, do it yourself first. It's always going to save you more money. Whether you're replacing your roof or replacing your windows yourself, it's going to save you money because you're doing it yourself. Okay, I would suggest if you don't have the finances, this is the latter would be buying data, which is cold, right? That would be the cheapest. Then from there, learn how to do it yourself, right? Try that out, see how that works out for you. And eventually you're gonna say, hey, you know what? I don't want to do it myself anymore. I'm just gonna pay for someone to do it for me. But obviously, if you pay someone to do it for you, it's gonna cost more, right? There's gonna be ads management costs as well along with it because they're the one running your ads and managing your ads instead of you doing it. But I honestly feel that is the tier of like online marketing or getting leads online. Okay. So we're at the top of the hour now. Any questions you guys may have? And I know I kind of rambled on a little bit. Obviously, I have a topic in mind, but as you can see, I get sidetracked sometimes, right? So again, those are strategies on lead generation, whether it's free or semi-free, or you have the finance to buy leads. That's what I suggest, right? Eventually, you should be using your finances to grow your business. Okay, you're not necessarily using your time at the door and using your personal time, right? You're exchanging time for dollars, basically. Eventually, you want to exchange finances for dollars. Okay, finance for dollars. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense, everybody. And again, Do me a favor if you haven't done so already. Make sure that you check out my TikTok channel as well, James the Solar Expert. Do me a favor and support me there as well, because I want to get 1,000 subscribers or followers so I can go live in there as well. Okay, so follow me on TikTok as well. And again, I'm going to be live here every single day, and I'm also going to try to go live in the evening. I hate to use the word try, but I haven't put it in my schedule yet as far as going live in the evening. Okay. Other than that, you guys have an amazing day. Share this, training with all your colleagues as well. Bring them on board, and make sure you guys book your solar strategy call, and also check out solarpipeline.com. Okay. Other than that, you guys have an amazing day. Goodbye for now, everybody. Peace out.